David Cameron has thrown himself in the deep end. The deep, deep, deep end. Hello and welcome to The Right Opinion, the home for twat with too much free time. And today we talk about Dave and a few of his friends. Now, my opinion of David Cameron has followed suit with public opinion of David Cameron, slowly deteriorating over the course of the last 6 months. He's not done great, needless to say. A few bad budgets, a few broken promises. It has been clumsy to mention the least. And then there were the Panama Papers, revealing what most people already knew, that a lot of high-profile individuals were hiding money in offshore bank accounts. Oh joy. One of the names disclosed was Cameron's late father, Ian Donald Cameron. He had been a client and had ran an offshore fund that had avoided tax for a grand total of 30 years. Dave had a few shares in this fund, which he benefited from and sold shortly before he became Prime Minister. I'm going to make one thing clear, I'm not going to judge his role in it until I find out more information, as I don't believe a person should be held responsible for their father's actions. What I am going to judge is the response from these moral crusaders that we call politicians. So first, let's talk about the Cam man himself. In reaction, very soon after his father was implicated, David Cameron insisted it was a private matter, a family matter, that needed respect. The following day, the matter was no longer a private matter, as he originally implied, and all they needed to know is that he didn't benefit from them. Then, a day later, he won't be benefiting from them in the future. I could go on. Public trust for politicians has once again been shredded more than a minister's tax return document. Now, because they're not completely devoid of any sensitivity, they're not these robots that just don't understand us, though pretty close. So they clearly noticed that we were losing faith. So, in that to restore this faith that had been lost, the ministers nobly released their tax details. True heroes they are. So, these tax returns are completely squeaky clean. Obviously, because they cover the income they actually claim to have. Once again, political gesturing. Though it would be curious to note that our good friend George Osborne claimed that we didn't need to see his previous tax year's returns because they weren't interesting.
Bullshit. You're talking bullshit.
Jeremy Corbyn filed his tax return a week late. The mad rebel he is. Don't fuck with Jeremy Corbyn. Though on the bright side, he doesn't have a taxpayer-funded 53k a year fashion advisor like some do. Cameron. Though you wouldn't be able to tell. So, what do we learn from the Panama Papers? Well, that the worst part of tax avoidance is being caught, politicians have trouble telling the truth, and that British people already knew the facts that I just stated. Basically, you can't trust them. That was my opinion. And I guess that was my outline on the Panama Papers and what can be drawn from them. As I say, it's still quite a new development, can't judge too much, but hopefully it's not the last we'll hear about these antics. So, I'm The Right Opinion, and I bid you farewell.